Hello dear students, welcome to the second week of this MOOC course. Today we will discuss module 4 and in this module we are going to discuss about the physiography of the Arctic Ocean. So we will discuss about the water masses, we will discuss about the ocean circulation, we will discuss about sea ice and also about polynyas. So coming to the introduction, so we have discussed in the previous modules that Arctic Ocean is the smallest and the shallowest of the world's ocean. And it has also been described as an estuary of the Atlantic Ocean. Estuary means it will have the characteristics of both freshwater as well as the marine water, and it is considered as a region of mixing between the freshwater and the marine water, or what we call as the saline water. And located at the northernmost part of the earth, it is surrounded by North America, Europe and Asia, and it has extreme cold temperatures and ice cover, especially during the winter. And also it has shallow continental shelves and also deep abyssal plains. And also Arctic is very famous for its rich biodiversity adapted to cold environments. So what I have given as an introduction, so you can see the image on the right hand side. So you can see the Arctic Ocean, then the North Pole and the northern sea route, and also some important aspects like the Bering Strait and the Arctic Circle. So we have discussed about the Arctic Circle in the previous modules. Now, understanding the Arctic is actually very crucial for studying the ocean circulation, heat exchange and also the ice dynamics. And why? Because it plays a significant role in regulating the global climatic patterns. And coming to the major human activities in the Arctic, we have shipping, resource extraction. We have already seen in module 3 the mineral resources of the Arctic, the gas as well as the mineral resources of the Arctic. So the resource extraction, then the fisheries management and also understanding the environmental challenges faced by the Arctic. So regulating global climatic patterns through processes such as the heat exchange, ocean circulation and ice albedo feedback is also very important as far as the Arctic region is concerned. And also it serves as a major source of freshwater input for the global ocean through the melting of sea ice and ice caps, influencing the ocean salinity and also the circulation. And now we will discuss about, so on this image which has been given, see that is related to the bathymetry of the ocean depth in meters. So there you can see some very important points which are marked in red. See for example the Bering Strait, the Fram Strait, then the Barents Sea opening and some of the seas which are very important part of the ocean. Now we'll discuss about some important aspects related to this particular image. First we'll discuss about the Bering Strait. Bering Strait is considered as a gateway to the Arctic. This strait is very narrow, but it is found to be teeming with wildlife, and at its narrowest point, this strait is found to be only having a width of 55 miles. And it is located between Alaska and Russia. And this strait is the only marine gateway between the icy Arctic and the Pacific Ocean. And again, it is found to be teeming with the wildlife, especially the beluga whales, the bowhead whales, the grey whales, the walruses, the polar bears, the ringed as well as the ribbon seals. Then, in spring, one of the largest wildlife migrations on this earth is happening through this Bering Strait, looking for the Arctic's extremely nutrient rich as well as the productive waters. So when Arctic sea ice continues to melt earlier in the season, what happens is that shipping increases through this narrow gateway further increasing the noise as well as water pollution, including the spills of toxic and long-lasting heavy fuel oil into this region. Now, another important strait is Fram Strait. See, this is a sea channel connecting the Arctic Ocean and the Nordic Seas, running between Greenland and Spitsbergen, and it is the gateway where most drifting sea ice exists in the Arctic. Now, it represents one of the two gateways through which water and heat from the Atlantic Ocean are transported to the Arctic Ocean, which will contribute to further melting of the sea ice. And the second gateway is the Barents Sea opening, which we will discuss in the upcoming slide. So, the warm Atlantic water from the Fram Strait is finding its way under the glacier ice tongues, and hence the glaciers are shrinking, not just because of global warming and also because of this introduction of this warm water through this particular strait. Now, coming to Barents Sea, William Barents was a Dutch navigator who searched for a northeast passage from Europe to Asia, and for whom this Barents Sea was named. And it is one of the several shelf seas of the Arctic Ocean, surrounded by archipelago in the north, that is the Svalbard in the northwest, then Franz Josef Land in the northeast, and the Novaya Zemlya in the east, and the northern Norway and the northwestern Russia in the south. And it is connected to other seas in the west through an opening called Barents Sea opening to the Norwegian Sea, and in the north to the Nansen Basin, and in the east to the Kara Sea. So, through this opening, a water mass of Atlantic origin flows into the Arctic Ocean. So, the warm waters entering the colder waters has an influence on the atmosphere and the sea ice above, and hence it will affect the global climate. Among the Arctic seas, the Barents Sea sustains the highest sea floor, that is the benthic biodiversity communities, including the world's largest deepwater coral reefs, high mussel banks, and also large coastal kelp forest. So, this is the map of Barents Sea and the adjacent ocean areas with main ocean and other sea ice characteristics. If you look into this arrows which is given in this red and blue, you can see this different type of the circulation of this water masses that is happening in the Barents Sea and connecting it to other seas in the Arctic region. Now we will come to the Kara Sea. So, it is a marginal sea of the Arctic Ocean and it lies north of Siberia. It is separated from the Barents Sea towards the west by the Novaya Zemlya and the Kara Strait. So, the Kara Sea is one of the world's most rough water bodies, and it has varying levels of salinity. It has diverse Arctic marine life. It is polluted by nuclear waste dumped by the erstwhile Soviet Union between the years 1965 to 1988, and it is also a reservoir of natural resources. Now we come to Chukchi Sea, and it is also a part of the Arctic Ocean, and it holds different names like the Chuk Sea and the Sea of Chukoks, and it is also referred to as a marginal water body of the Arctic. And it lies off the northwestern Alaskan coast and is among the world's most productive marine ecosystem. So, on the west, this sea is surrounded by Long Strait, which lies close to the Wrangel Island, and in the east, it is enclosed by Point Barrow, Alaska. Now, the southern limit is formed by the Bering Strait, which connects the Chukchi Sea to the Bering Sea and to the Pacific Ocean. And it is saline compared to the other seas of the Arctic. Why? Because it is having a very low runoff as well as exchange. And it is also named after the indigenous people of the Chukchi Peninsula, and it is home to the world's 1/10 polar bear population. Half of the polar bears of America, about 2000 animals, call the Chukchi Sea as their home. and it is one of the world's biggest marine mammal migration area. Now, this sea holds massive natural gas as well as oil reserves, and it holds huge commercial value. And the world's biggest phytoplankton algal bloom was also discovered in this particular sea during the year 2012, because it is considered as the most nutrient rich as well as the diverse marine ecosystems in the world.